On September 20, 1519, Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan, with 5 ships and a crew of 270 men, set sail from Sanlúcar de Barrameda in southern Spain on what would become the first circumnavigation of the world. He wanted to reach Southeast Asia, where spices grew and gems were to be found, by sailing westwards across the Atlantic Ocean. He hoped to find a passage through South America so that he could sail all the way from the Atlantic to the ocean beyond the Americas now known as the Pacific. On March 16, 1521, Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan, attempting to sail around the world for Spain, reached the Philippine archipelago. Magellan's goal is to find a passage through South America to the Moluccas and return to Spain laden with spices. Magellan's arrival in the Philippines paved the way for Spanish rule, introduced Christianity to the islands, and still lives on in the stories and cultural practices of the Filipino people. The importance of knowing our history from the time before the coming of the Spaniards to now our government, community, livelihood pre-Spanish period. That we have a thriving civilization before the Spanish colonization. Knowing our history under the Spanish rule is also important, because it is a big part of our history that for 300 years, we are a part of the Spanish rule. Many of our lifestyle, culture retain up to this day, reflects the influence of the Spanish occupation in our country. Christianity had become a major religion in the Philippines because of the long Spanish occupation with us. Another important event in history is our struggle to fight for our independence through the courageous efforts of the Katipunan under the leadership of Andres Bonifacio under the secret of organization of the KKK. The Kartilya contains 13 lessons that details not only the vision of the Katipunan, but the vision for an equalitarian and morally sound Filipino nation. The lessons that serve as the Katipunan's guide in living with morals and good values. The Kartilya reflected the liberal and radical ideas of the time as well as values of equality, tolerance, freedom, and honor. It invoked the inherent equality. The Kartilya ng Katipunan was written by Emilio Jacinto in 1892. The Kartilya ng Katipunan reflects all the aspirations of the Filipino people. It reflects all the struggles and sacrifices of the Katipunan in their desire for our independence. The mantra of no document, no history meant that only written documents can be used to prove a historical fact. Any other evidence not evidenced by documents like oral testimonies will not be accepted as a reliable source of history. The saying, no document, no history conveys the belief among certain historians that written records and papers are essential to understanding past events and reconstruction. Historical context can be gained via reading letters, diaries, government documents, newspapers, and other written sources.